My first memory of fashion. Well, I guess it would have to be my first freshman year in college. I needed a part-time job, and I was going to school for musical theater, so nothing to do with fashion. And one of my friends was like, "Hey, H&M is hiring. You should come to H&M to work with me. You know, we'll have fun. We'll work together." I was like, "Okay, let's do it." So I got hired working as a sales associate at H&M on 34th Street. Color for me it's huge. Growing up Latino in our culture, all we saw was color. You know, when you move to America, everything is so grayscale and so black and white. And I feel like color keeps us connected with our culture. I love color, and I think with the vibrancy of color, you can convey so much about who you are to people, how you're feeling, the energies that you want to attract, the kind of people you want to be surrounded with. And since I'm a strong believer of always being happy and giving people happiness in the smallest ways, color brings that to life in all aspects. Even on TV when I'm working, whether it's on an editorial, a commercial, a TV show, a movie, and I'm designing, I try to add some color to my characters as long as it goes with them, but I try to get it in some way, somehow, even if it's in the jewelry and the clothing, in some small accents. I feel like it brings people that happiness that we're missing every day. And a lot of people don't know that. And there's colors that you can wear and there's colors that you can't. Knowing what your color wheel is kind of also very important, right? Because once you know what colors work with your complexion, what colors make you stand out and give you that vibrancy, it's very helpful. Texture for me is also very important. The mixing of the fabrics is very important also. It creates this like 3D dynamic feature with what we're wearing and the messages we're trying to convey with how we're dressed. I love it, the layering of, you know, the crepe fabrics and the satin. The more year, the more work you put in, the more authentic and the more real it makes you seem, and the more people can relate to you and your brand, because we're all brands at the end of the day. And I truly do believe that patience is key to everything, in all aspects of what we do and in whatever career field you want to be in, whether it's creative or being a teacher, right? Like, you don't learn things overnight and think you're now an expert. I know I'm not an expert, and I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm the kind of person that like to make people feel good. I like to cater to people around me. I like to make sure that, you know, everyone's happiness around me makes me happy. That fulfills me. And I feel like my role is to ensure that I can help people become their most authentic selves by the way they're dressed and the way they look. Appearances mean everything. As someone who struggled with being overweight at a very young age and being Latino and gay back in the early 2000s and not knowing what that means or what that represents, I found myself alone a lot and found myself in my head a lot and thinking of ways like, okay, how do I become my most authentic self? So through time, as I learned it, picked up the skills and the tools that I needed, I realized that that's when I'm at my happiest, when I'm helping people. Grew up with my mom, grew up with my sibling, my brother, my cousins, and my family for me has always been a big inspiration. My mom was always into music. We used to have like 25 friends, right? And the older we get, it's funny because you hear a lot, you know, when you're successful, you feel alone. And I didn't realize what that meant until I was getting older, and I was realizing that my circle of friends was just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And only those true, authentic people that really are rooting for you and are there for you will be around forever. Creative vibe, I like to connect a lot to my Latino roots. I listen to a lot of reggaeton, a lot of dembow. I do listen to a lot of pop. And I also love like Moroccan music. For me, I love the sounds of the beats, the drums, the snares, the percussions, the vibrations that it brings. I feel like it turns on a part of my brain that sometimes needs to be forced on. So it's pretty cool. I like listening to a lot of eclectic music, but those are usually my go-to genres while I'm concentrating and being creative. There are certain musical notes that when they hit the right tonality in the right symphony, opens a portal to a world that allows you to be creative in ways that you normally aren't. And I feel like once you tap into it, it's kind of like, okay, now I've learned it, now I can use that moving forward for something else I want to do. So I get inspired by, Olivier Roosting and seeing his collections that he creates for Vermont. 100%, I love it. They're authentic, they're new age, but I'm a little bit of an old soul. So for me, the David Bowies and the Beyoncés and the Cher. Cher is another big inspiration for me. Madonna as well. The trajectory that she's built for fashion within music is awe-inspiring. The rebel girl who dresses in like vintage couture, the punk rocker who mixes luxury brands. I mean, Madonna was just a trailblazer and all that. And for me, that's inspiring. One of my biggest passion projects have been helping the transgender youth in our communities. When it comes to the way they dress themselves, they're going by what the communities and their environments portray to them what a male and a female looks like. And they're wearing these things because it's what their mom wears or it's what their dad wears. But it's not flattering to them and their figures, and they're still not happy. I want to explore it deeper, and I want to create a fashion trend or market where you're blurring the lines of inclusivity.